Let's join Bill Fleming in our coverage of the New York State Firemen's Competition.
Today, Wide World of Sports visits the Spencer Speedway near Williamson, New York, just outside of Rochester, for the New York State Firemen's Competition. This is one of those events that really is fun for the entire family. In fact, each team has literally brought its own cheering section with it, all ages and sizes. The competition's easy to understand. Everything is against the stopwatch. So in order to win here, you can't make any mistakes. Hi, I'm Bill Fleming. In this most unusual competition that we're going to see to determine who are the best volunteer firemen in their particular event, we're going to see a lot of unusual equipment. In fact, you see it here in the staging area behind me. A lot of kind of wild designs, particularly in the fire engines themselves. There's a lot of ingenuity that goes in here that still conforms to the rules. Perhaps the biggest latitude that we see is in the design of the logo or the team name on the side of the door or the back of the fire rig itself. There's a lot of pride that goes into this. This competition has competitors that are just as serious as any members of any sports team that you'll find. And of course, keep in mind as we watch this competition that these young men, although they act a little bit crazy at times, are pretty serious about their particular event because their skill as volunteer firemen sometimes could determine the difference between life and death. And so let's have fun as we watch the competition, and there's a lot of it going on. There are 8 events throughout the day, and the overall winner is the team that scores the highest point total in all of those events. Now, the Motor Ladder B competition has already taken place, and there were some surprises there. This is the event where the truck starts 150 feet from the arch. The men take the ladder to the arch, raise it, and try to send a man up. But as you can see, the Wyandanch Indians didn't get a man on board. North Belmore's Rinky Dinks, the former state champions, couldn't set the ladder straight, and that's most important here. The ladder has to be planted just right between 2 markers. And here, their climber couldn't get up either. And so they were disqualified. The Westerners from West Hempstead also had problems in this rather difficult event. The timing has to be absolutely perfect. And West Hempstead didn't have it today. But there was one team that certainly did have it, and that was the eventual winner. The Central Islip Hobos posted an amazing time of 5.41 seconds. Now, they were second in this event to Lindenhurst a year ago, so they were duly inspired today to win it. And up goes the climber, grabs the top rung, hangs on, and Central Islip, second in this event to Lindenhurst a year ago, but the overall champions a year ago now have a good lead in the overall competition as we come to the Motor Ladder C competition. Now, these trucks are highly modified, getting almost 600 horsepower out of them. They're really almost dragsters as they carry the ladder rig and the men down a chute that is 475 feet long. So it's a little over 3 times the distance of the ladder B. And the speeds are much higher, too. Here come the Great Neck Alerts. Almost 80 miles an hour as they plant the brakes, and uh-oh, a man is down. And so Great Neck is disqualified. Tough break. Here's one of the favorites now in the Motor Ladder C competition, the 40 Thieves from Patchogue, New York. They were one of the teams that everybody figured could really do a job in this competition, and here they come, getting up to speeds of 80 miles an hour, jam on the brakes. The planters get off at about 25. Up goes the climber. It's a good one. Good time by Patchogue. Here it is, 9.51. Excellent time. In fact, it's the best so far. Fast and furious competition here, and all 39 teams are entered in this Motor Ladder C. Here are the Hempstead Flukes. Whoops, can't get it up. No time for the Hempstead Flukes. Well, there's always next year. Another team from Hempstead will be coming up next. They're the Yellow Hornets on the line. Remember, the distance now is 475 feet. It's just a drag race. And then the timing has to be perfect to stop and get the ladder off, get the climber up, and here they go. Oh, they went way under the arch. Oh, they didn't miss it by a mile. Now the Ramblers from Dexter, New York. Look at that rig. Expect to see this out of Pomona at the drag races. And they are going to be late. Now it starts to go off to the side, and the climber is hung up. So the Dexter Ramblers will win also until next year. Here's a hot team, the Wildcats from St. James. Looking pretty cool there is driver Phil Coward. Here they go. Nice straight line. Rubber burning. Ladder up. Oh, here's a good climb. Excellent. Oh, that was a dandy, and you can hear it from the crowd. They liked it. Here it is. 9.24. Great time. In fact, it's a new state record. The old mark was 9.25. So let's talk to the driver, Phil Coward. Phil, how fast were you going?
Close to 80 miles an hour.
Well, that is really something to have that much precision to hit the brakes exactly at the right time. You must have been working hard.
We have worked hard and practiced hard. Yes, we have.
All right, as we look at your team members, can you identify them for us?
Jimmy O'Reilly and Mike Dwyer are the butters. Larry Montrose is the thrower. And Tommy is the climber.
Tommy, congratulations. Great climb. To you, Phil, congratulations. A great drive.
Thank you kindly.
St. James, the state record holder now. Well, the Snails of Lindenhurst have yet to run. They're coming up in just a moment. They have a very interesting story to tell. They've had a lot of state championships to their credit, and our ABC crew paid a visit to the firehouse at Lindenhurst, New York, just to get to know them a little bit better, to find out what their equipment looks like and how they train for this event. As you can see, they have a long history of brilliance in the firemen's competition, and the reason for it is very obvious. They really work at it. Down their own strip and their own arch, which is incidentally 19.7 feet high, they work tirelessly to get that 1/10 of a second needed for victory. A year ago, Lindenhurst was 4th in the overall competition, so they really want to win it this year. They have a very good chance to do it. This is the engine. Notice the 8 carburetors, 1 for each cylinder. Notice the double wheels and the way the cockpit is set way forward. A brilliant new design by the team from Lindenhurst. And in the trophy case, you can see that they have a great heritage here in the firemen's competition. These are just the trophies from this year alone. And this one dates way back to 1887. And so, Lindenhurst, New York, with a proud history of firefighting. Now, let's talk to Doug Shivas, the driver. You think your chances are good?
Right now, they look a little bleak, but we've got 6 more contests to go yet.
But I'm talking about in the sea.
Oh, see, yes. Yes, we're looking for a record right now.
Looking for a record. Okay. Well, the record is 9.24, set by St. James a little earlier. So we'll see if the Lindenhurst Sea Truck can do it. And they're moving closer to the start line now. I think what Doug Shivas meant there was it didn't look too good was in the overall, because in the first couple of events, Lindenhurst has finished far down, but they certainly have a great chance to win it in the sea competition with this wild-looking rig, built incidentally by driver Doug Shivas. Here they go. Good start. Now, the plant is important. Get it down. Yep, it's good. Up goes the climber. Fine time. 9.53 seconds, and that clinches 3rd place for Lindenhurst. We'll be back with more of the firemen's competition and the exciting Motor Hose Sea event. Bill Fleming back at the New York State Firemen's Competition, where Patchogue and Central Islip are tied for the lead in the overall, with St. James 1 point behind, and we're coming to the Motor Hose Sea competition. These are those dragster-like fire trucks, but the thing that's different here than the ladder competition is that there are 4 men on the rear. 2 jump off at the hydrant, couple the hose to the hydrant, 2 others stay on, and as soon as the hose is unreeled, they get a nozzle on and fire it at a target. Here we go with the Bayshore Redskins. Okay, the couple men are down. Good. Now, put the nozzle on. Got it. All right. Nice time, 13.64 seconds. That's the best time so far. Now, let's take a look at Bayshore once again in slow motion to demonstrate how the 2 men are poised to leap off, the 2 middle men. There's the coupling. Now they've got pressure to the hose. The other 2 men put the nozzle on as soon as the hose comes off the truck. It has to be manually uncoupled by one man. The nozzle man puts it on. The other guy goes around behind to hold that hose so it won't whip around, and at least they have direction as soon as they get pressure at the nozzle. And off to the target. All right, that was a good time, 13.64 by Bayshore. Now let's watch the Great Neck Alerts. They haven't had very much success here in this competition. Hoping for a good show here. Oh, the man is blown right off the hydrant. He didn't get the coupling on properly, and that tremendous water pressure just knocked him right off his feet. So once again, the Great Neck Alerts suffer frustration. Well, Central Islip can't afford it. They're coming up next, tied for the lead with Pat Chog in the overall competition. Here they come, the Hobos of Central Islip. Oh, trouble! Trouble at the hydrant. Those precious seconds when they miss the coupling cost Central Islip dearly. They're going to be way out of this one. Now here comes East Meadow. Oh, that's a tough break for the Hobos of Central Islip. Just a fraction of a second off. The Meadowlarks. Oh, that's lost. You get no second chance here, so East Meadow is out of it. Well, here comes Pat Chog, and boy, the pressure's building. The time to beat, 13.64. Pat Chog is tied with Central Islip for the lead, but with Islip falling back, it now improves St. James' chances should Pat Chog falter. Here we go. So far, so good. Just a little slip there. Oh, the car almost went out into a spin. Well, that didn't cost him, and the time is good. 13:47. Good, I guess so. That is the best time posted so far, and St. James has yet to run. Now for a quick word with John Powers, who's the nozzle man on the Pat Chog team. John, you did a terrific job. You got a 13:47. You think it'll hold up?
We hope so. It was a little slower today. It might be, you know. We're not running with 4.5 water, running 4.7.
Well, you know, the thing that looked funny to me, it looked like your truck actually got out of line, like you might have got into a spin there. Has that happened before?
Oh, it happens a lot. You know, you come down, the brakes don't always hold the same. You know, different conditions, tracks are different, it's wet, whatever.
Pretty hairy, isn't it?
It gets hairy. It really does.
All right, John, I know that you'd love to have that hold up because it would put you in great position in the overall for the tournament.
Definitely would. Definitely. We'd be right in there. We'd be in front. We'd be number one.
Well, if the pressure was on Pat Chog before their run, it certainly goes now to St. James, because St. James was just 1 point behind Pat Chog going into this Motor C hose competition. I'd like to show you before St. James runs the run by Seabreeze. They had some pretty frantic get-ups here, looking like men from outer space, but we want to show you this because it illustrates what happens when the water pressure gets to the coupling before the nozzle is on. See, it got there just a fraction too soon, and it misdirected the spray. So that means the Seabreeze is out of it. But now, St. James very much in it. Here they come. The time to beat is 13:47. So far, so good. Now, a fast coupling. The nozzle is on, and they've got it. 13:36 is the time for St. James, and that beats Pat Chog's time. And so St. James picks up a full point on Pat Chog. So they'll either be tied with him or ahead of him, depending upon what the Dexter Ramblers do. They're the last team in the Class C motor hose competition. And they are poised at the start. The time to beat now, 13:36. Just posted by St. James. Kind of slow there, getting off. Got pressure. No hose! The hose is way back up the track. And it's all wound up like a pretzel. And so that means that Pat Chog and St. James are now tied for the overall, with St. James winning the Class C motor hose. Back for more of the firemen's competition and the thrilling Bucket Brigade. Bill Fleming back at the New York State Firemen's Competition at Rochester, New York. As you can see, it's nearly dark now. A full day of these events brings us down to the wire, and it looks like the winner of the Bucket Brigade probably will be the overall winner, and we're getting ready for the buckets in just a moment. we had a lot of fun watching the Motor Hose B competition, won by Dark Horse Manhasset. The Minutemen won that one. And we did have our lighter moments. The motor pump topped all the fun off. And here we are with Pat Chog poised for the start of the Bucket Brigade. What an interesting competition we've had. St. James has 20 points in the overall. Pat Chog 18.5. Central Islip 17. That means that Pat Chog has to beat St. James by 2 positions in the point standings in order to do it. And so if they could beat him by 2 positions here in the Bucket Brigade, Pat Chog would win it. And here we go. The buckets go up to fill a 45-gallon drum at the top. There's the guy that has the tough job. He's the lifter. Aching arms by the time this is over, and it's less than 30 seconds. There it is. And there's the time, 24.70 seconds for Pat Chog. Excellent time. Remember, these men have been in competition all day long. They're tired. St. James ready now as darkness begins to fall. They have to beat Pat Chog's time, of course, to win the overall. And a good chance to win the bucket event. Here they go. There's an interesting sequence of events here. Dipping the trough, up they go, and then up in the upper left-hand corner, the man at the top unloading the buckets. And the official standing by, waiting for the 45-gallon overflow to spout, and as soon as it does, it's official. Getting close. It's 25.60. That's not good enough to beat Pat Chog. Oh, that does tighten things up. Pat Chog still in the lead. Again, in the overall competition, if Pat Chog can beat St. James by 2 positions in the Bucket Brigade, our final event, then they will be the overall champions. All right, here comes the next team, the Flukes of Hempstead. They don't have a chance for the overall, but what they'd like right now is to win the event. This is the prestigious event, 12 men on a team. And they have to go up that very wet ladder and get a thorough soaking in this exhausting Bucket Brigade. So far, they're doing a fine job. Getting close. Good time. In fact, it's the second best time we've had, 25:33. That's important because that puts them ahead of St. James, and that gives Pat Chog those 2 places we talked about. Right now, St. James is in 3rd place. Pat Chog is in 1st place. Now the new Hyde Park Termites have a chance for the title here. In earlier competitions this year, this team has been extremely sharp in the Bucket Brigade. They scramble up the ladder, get the unloader to the top. The lifter's in good position. Oh, he almost can't see. He just has to do that by instinct. Oh, they're getting close. There it is. Look at this time, 24.28. And New Hyde Park wins it. They win the Bucket Brigade, but Pat Chog, finishing 2nd place, still will win the overall. And so Pat Chog will take second place in the bucket brigade, but these are the new champions, the new Hyde Park team, the Termites, upsetting Patchogue. And so it's a happy moment here for Patchogue. They've done it. They have beaten St. James, and they are the new champs. Let's move in and talk to them. Let me get in here with Ed Riley. Ed, you're the chief here.
Thank you very
A
much.
great victory. And of course, it came right down to the bucket brigade.
It was a hard, tough fight, but it was a good year for everybody. I'd like you to meet the coach of the team who's been up for years, Jake Parris.
Jake Parris. Okay, Jake. I hope they don't put you in there, Jake.
No, I hope not, too.
Oh, it's a great victory for you by half a point.
Right. It was tough.
A little celebrating tonight here?
Oh, yeah. We're going to have a little celebration.
Okay. I think they want you in the tank. Well, we've had a lot of fun here at the State Firemen's Competition in the state of New York. It's been a long day, a hot day, and now a wet day and rather dark. Bill Fleming saying so long from Rochester, New York.